Today I'm going to show you 8 knitting patterns that could be dupes for Sézane's designs. Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Mathilde, I'm a French beginner knitter, and if you're not subscribed already, please do, it means a lot to me. Today I'm going to show you 8 knitting patterns that could be dupe for Sézane's designs. If you're not familiar with Sézane, it's a French clothes brand that's quite popular, especially in the US, but also just in France in general. I think it's quite well known in Europe, but I'm not too sure, so if you don't know it, maybe check it out. They make some really stunning pieces that are the embodiment of Parisian fashion style. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you 8 knitting patterns that could work if you don't have the money, or if you're not able to purchase from Sézane but you kind of want the look, or if, like me, you like knitting your own clothes. Even if there is an easier alternative, like just buying it, you just prefer to buy the yarn, even if it's more expensive, and spend hours knitting on it and just have the finished piece as a result. So the first knitting pattern that I'm going to show you is to dupe the skirt called Naelle. This is a midi-length skirt that is knit in, or that is machine knit in merino wool and cotton. I think it's got an elasticated wristband. Yeah, it's quite long, quite flowy, and the pattern that I think would make for a good dupe is the Novice skirt by Sandnes Garn. So this is a design that I think you can only buy if you purchase one of their knitting patterns booklets. I think this one is from September 2023, so I'll put the link to the Ravelry page down below, so that maybe you can look more into how to purchase that pattern. But this is a pattern that comes in a variety of sizes. It goes from XS to 5XL, and obviously you can knit it to the length that you want, which I think also is a good thing when you're purchasing a design by a brand. And if you're quite petite, then the skirt might be too long for you, and if you're maybe too tall, the pattern might be, or the design might be a bit too short on you compared to what you would like. Obviously knitting it means that you can customize it to your preferences. So this is a pattern that is made using PetiteKnit by Sandnes Garn. It's meant to have a negative ease around the waist of approximately 5 centimeters. Sézane also has a version of it with stripes. You could obviously easily make that as well if you're knitting that design, and yeah, I think it's just a perfect dupe for the Sézane skirt. The next Sézane design that we're going to look at is the Léontine sweater. This is a sweater with stripes, and it's got a Henley style neckline with a lot of buttons, and it's got small balloon sleeves. So they're not too puffy, but they are quite wide at the sleeves, and then they narrow down or they decrease rapidly around the wrist. This sweater is made with biological cotton, and the dupe that I'm going to show you is, actually I've got 2. The first one is the Portobello sweater by Cheryl Mokhtari, or Coco Amour knits. She used Sandnes Garn Double Sunday for it, and it's got the same feature except for the sleeves. They're quite straight instead of this small balloon effect. I also feel like maybe it's a little bit warmer than the original. Maybe because it's knit with cotton, or made with cotton, and the dupe is made with merino wool. And I think probably if you were to knit the Sézane design, it would probably be made with a fingering weight yarn, whereas this is DK. This design is available from size XS to XXL, and it is designed to have 10 to 12 centimeters of positive ease. The other dupe that you could use for this sweater is the Sea Point sweater by Knits from Oslo. I feel like this is maybe a bit closer to the original sweater because it does feature those sleeves. This design is also available on sizes XS to XXL, but this one is meant to have about 20 centimeters of positive ease. So if you like the original sweater and you're not sure which knitting pattern to use, that could be a good way to know which one to go for, maybe depending on the ease that you want for yourself. And this one is made using alpaca from Sandnes Garn. So you do have two options. You could do double Sunday or alpaca from Sandnes Garn if you want to follow the knitting designer's instructions. But I'm sure if you want to be a bit more closer to the original design, then maybe you could go for a cotton, maybe held double. I'm sure that would make for quite a lightweight garment, maybe more appropriate for the fall. Now let's look at the Aretha sweater. This is a design that features those balloon sleeves, much more dramatic than on the Léontine sweater. And it also features these really fun and intricate ribbing design, which I've never seen before actually. And this one is made using wool and mohair, and it features a boat neckline. So that's the one thing that will be different with the knitting pattern that I recommend, which doesn't have that boat neckline detail. But maybe you could just not do the ribbing like the pattern has, or you could just, you know, obviously they will be a little bit different. So this design that we're going to look at is the Saguaro sweater by Camille K, or Mathilde from Instagram. She also has a cardigan version of that sweater, and I think maybe Sézane have also a cardigan version of that design. This knitting pattern is available from size XS to XXL, and it's knit in the round, and those stitch details are made using brioche stitches. So I think maybe it could be a good way to learn brioche if you've never done it, because it's not an all over brioche pattern. It's meant to have 0 to 7 centimeters of positive ease, so it's quite a fitted sweater, which I think maybe the original version is maybe a bit more oversized. But if you want the same look, you could just go for a size up. And I feel like it's the perfect dupe except for that boat neckline. Now let's look at the Naelle sweater, which I think is quite a recent design by Sézane. It's a Slipover vest, which is very straightforward. It does have quite a large amount of positive ease from what I can tell from the picture. It's knit using baby alpaca and merino wool, and it's got a folded down neckline and ribbing also at the arms, and quite long ribbing on the body. The knitting pattern that I feel like is the closest, and which is also quite beginner friendly, is the Novice Slipover by PetiteKnit. I'm sure there are loads more knitting patterns that are quite like that Naelle sweater or Slipover, but I did want to include one by PetiteKnit because I feel like, especially from her Novice line, it means that it's very beginner friendly, and that if this is your first time knitting a garment, or if you just want to get into knitting and you really love that Slipover from Sézane, then this one could be a good substitute for it. So this is knit using DK plus lace weight, so it's about an iron weight garment, so it should be fairly quick, and it is available from XS to 5XL. It is meant to have about 15 centimeters of positive ease. She has a few suggestions for the yarn that you could use. She uses Holspindery, probably butchering that name, or Double Sunday by Sandnes Garn, held with soft silk mohair by Knitting for Olive, or thin silk mohair by Sandnes Garn, or silk mohair by Easier. The nice thing about a pattern from PetiteKnit is that quite a lot of people have knitted it already, and so you can get a few ideas of which yarn you could use to substitute instead of the ones she recommends. And if you want to have the kind of exact design as Sézane, using baby alpaca and mohair, is it mohair? No, and merino wool, then you could, I'm sure, find someone who's done that combination of yarn as well. Now let's look at the Gaspard Cardigan. It's quite a popular cardigan. It's very simple, quite an old known design by Sézane. but they have it all the year round compared to other designs that are sometimes just for a collection on a monthly basis. And this is a cardigan that has super kid mohair, baby alpaca and polyamide composition. So again, I feel like knitting a sweater yourself means that you can really choose the composition of that sweater yourself. So if you don't love acrylic yarns, then you could definitely use a, you know, just baby alpaca and mohair for your own version. This is a cardigan that is quite thin and it features these really cute pearl buttons down the middle, and the Sézane, the way Sézane styles it is you can wear it with the buttons on the front or the buttons on the back, and the round colour will be on the front. And that's exactly what the knitting designer does as well on her sample pictures. So this is the Cardi Jumper by PetiteKnit. It's a design that is available from 75 centimeters to a 155 centimeter bust circumference, and she uses light fingering and lace weight together to make a sport pattern. So the yarn that she uses is either Knitting for Olive merino held with soft silk mohair by Knitting for Olive, or she also used for another version the Marinière version, so the one with the stripes, Mondim by Rosaria Rosa Pomar. This is a design that is supposed to have an oversized fit of 15 to 20 centimeters of positive ease around the bust, but she says that the sizing is quite important to get right for the sleeves to fit well around the shoulders. And yeah, this is a beautiful design that is a perfect dupe for the Sézane design. Then we have the Basile Cardigan, which is made using alpaca and wool and polyamide. It features some small balloon sleeves. This is made using the shaker rib stitch, I think, from what I can gather when I'm translating it online. But I think it kind of looks like brioche or fisherman's rib, and it's got a v-neck and buttons that are tone on tone, and it's quite an oversized fit as well. The design that is perfect for this is the Daydreamer cardigan by Veronica Lindberg or Kutovakika, and it's a design that was released in March of this year, so it's quite recent. The sizes available ranges from XS to 5XL, and she made this using a worsted weight yarn. You can use Drops Air or Sandnes Garn borsted alpaca held with Sandnes Garn tin silk mohair, or you could use only mohair held together, like 4 or 5 strands held together. Yeah, she recommends a lot of different yarns for this cardigan, which is great. It's a design that is meant to have 15 to 30 centimeter of positive ease, so it's quite oversized, kind of like the original or like the Sézane design. And this is knit in half fisherman's rib, so it's not quite the same rib detail as the Sézane, but it's very similar, so I'm sure it's going to be just as squishy and warm and nice to wear. The next one that I want to talk about is the Yohan, they call it a sweater, I think it's mostly just a top. It's got a turtleneck, it's made with ribbing, I think just 1x1 rib. It's mostly made of a merino wool and cotton, and it's this very classic turtleneck sleeveless top. So the pattern that I've got for that is the Tonight top by Lily Kate France or Lily Kate Makes. This is a top made with fingering weight yarn. It's gonna take a while, but it is so worth it because it is gorgeous. It's made to fit sizes from 71 centimeters to 157 centimeters bust circumference, and it's worked top down seamlessly. It's got a ribbed hem and neckband, and so as you can see, it doesn't have that 1x1 rib detail all over the body. But first of all, I'm sure you could just substitute it, and second of all, it's just such a perfect fit that it is going to look gorgeous even if it's just simple stockinette. And it's a perfect transitional knit to have going for the fall, I feel. And also the Sézane picture just reminds me of Rachel from Friends or Jennifer Aniston. I can just see her wearing that exact outfit. Anyways, that's a tangent. The last one is the Emile cardigan, which is quite similar to the Basile, but I think it's just a different fit. It uses the same rib detail, so I think it's the shaker rib stitch. This one is made using alpaca wool and polyamide, and it's got a round neck, whereas the other one was V-neck. It does feature those 3 stitches for the raglan, but it is a round neck. So we have 2 cardigans that are quite similar. One is also by Veronica Lindberg. This is the Lazy Cat cardigan. It's made using half fisherman's rib, so if you want to have a Basile and an Emile cardigans, then you can just use the Daydreamer cardigan patterns and then the Lazy Cat cardigan pattern, and you'll have, you know, twin versions of the same cardigans. This one is made using Aran plus Aran, so it's quite a super bulky weight design, so she uses 6mm needles for that. It is available from sizes XS to 3XL, and she used Drops Air for that one. I'm not sure what the recommended positive is for that one. She doesn't really mention it on her pattern page, but she does say that it's supposed to have, I think, 30 to 40 centimeters of positive ease, so it's really oversized for really cozy winter morning. Would be perfect. The other pattern that you could use is one by Åsa, hope I'm pronouncing her name right, Åsa Buchta, which is called Linger. This is again a cardigan made using half fisherman's rib. It's available from size XS to 5XL, so a bit more sizes in that one. And she used Barocco Ultra Alpaca Chunky yarn. It's supposed to have 15 centimeters of positive ease, and so a bit less ease than the Lazy Cat cardigan. So again, if you want to choose a design that has less positive ease, then you can choose that one instead of the other one. And yeah, otherwise it's pretty similar, and if you really want the exact same look as the Sézane, you can just use buttons are tone on tone with the color that you're going to choose. So be sure to check out the links in the description box down below, because I'm going to link every pattern and as well as every Sézane's design, so that you can compare them yourself. Let me know if you liked this type of video. I can for sure look at other brands, or even I've got a few more patterns that are similar to Sézane's design in my notes, so I can do another video on that brand, or I can, if you have any other brands that you want me to go look for knitting dupes, let me know. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.